YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back. We got bold predictions for Week 12 sent in by you guys through our Twitter. Doing this video every week. Usually on Thursday. I got a day earlier this week because 3 ball games on Thanksgiving. Excited about those. We're breaking them down on Twitter. So check us out there. Live updates there as well. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Full NFL coverage here. Yeah, there's a link for that Twitter down below, pinned in the comments along with recent videos, so check it out. Let's take a look at this first one. Tortoise, he's back. Speaking in existence, baby. Nagy gets fired. The time is now. I can feel it. It was funny because I was getting ready to do this video, and I was planning on, throwing a it's happening up there because earlier in the week, it was reported that Nagy was about to be, he was going to be let go after this game on Thursday, and then Nagy saying that's not true. I was still think it's happening because what else is he going to say, But just before I went to go record, it came out, there's a report that George McCaskey talked to the team and the coaches, the players and the coaches, and said that report is not true. So now I don't even know what to make of it because why would you lie to your players? Why would you lie to your players? Then Thursday happens, the game's over, and then they fire Nagy, and it's like, wow, he just came and told us he's not getting fired, and so I don't really know what to make of the situation. About 10 minutes ago, I would have told you this is happening. Now I really got no clue. My stance all along was they would probably wait till after the season. Like, what's the point of firing him now? Who are they going to make the interim coach? This is up in the air. I'm going to put it right in the middle. It's warm. It's starting to warm up, but this possibly could happen. I'm just on the fence on it at this point. If that last report didn't come out, I would be like, oh, it's happening. I think Nagy's just kind of hiding the fact, or maybe he didn't talk to ownership or anything, so he just didn't know. Well, really, what is he supposed to say? Like, yeah, I'm getting fired, guys. Hey, this is it. Like, I don't think anybody's going to say that. Maybe. So I would have said it was happening, but since McCaskey went and told the players and the coaches, I don't really care about the coaches part, but he went and told their own players that the report is not true. That's not a good look if he lies. Even if they want Nagy out, it's still not a good look. 'Cause what else are they going to lie about? Unless that report is not true, but I feel like it's been confirmed here. So your guess is as good as mine here. Previously, again, I thought they would just wait, even though he definitely deserved to be fired. I thought they would just wait till the end of the year. We're going to find out. Because the Bears-Lions game is the first game of Thanksgiving. I don't think we would find out right after. I think we would probably – it could be Friday, the next day, Black Friday, or maybe the next Monday to start Week 13. So we'll see. It's definitely what everyone's looking forward to see what happens here. Broncos fans, so another firing here. Vic Fangio gets fired after the Chargers-Broncos game. Now this one to me is piping. It's a big game. They got to win it. I'm more focused on Shermer because he's kind of been out. He's been taking some heat, and now he's back in there. It's a very winnable game, I think. Even though the Chargers are a very good team, I think it's a winnable game because you can run on the Chargers. We know that. Dead last in the NFL, stopping the run. Broncos recently been getting better running the ball because they've been running the ball more. That's what they need to do. So if they go in this game and they don't run the ball, they ignore the run again, we got some problems. Fangio's got some problems. Shermer's got some problems. I just don't think they fire them right now. I don't think it's going to do anything, because Shermer's the offensive guy. The head coach is Vic Fangio. He's the defensive guy. Shermer, again, the offensive guy. So if you fire Fangio, who's the interim head coach? Somebody that's a step down from calling the defense from Fangio. The guy who's maybe more to blame for some of these play calls, decision-making, offensive game plan, some of these games, in Shermer. I just don't see him getting fired. It's definitely a big game, and if they blow this game, it's definitely a losable. Like, if you lose, it's not the end of it. It's like, well, it's, again, a must-win game, but if you lose, it's like, oh, they're terrible. How do they lose that? It's not one of those situations, but if you have the wrong game plan, it can look pretty bad because you know what the game plan has to be. They have to come out running the football, and you expect the defense to be able to do some damage here, at least at times in this game. Look good in shorts. All 3 road teams will win on Thanksgiving. So we got 3 games. The road teams are the Bears, the Raiders, and the Bills. I have 2 of them winning. I have 2 road teams winning. I have the Bears, which that's kind of a 50-50 one, and I have the Bills, which I feel pretty good about, even though they haven't been playing too well. So I would need to be wrong on that rate. I would need to be right on those 2, and then wrong on the Raiders losing. The Raiders would have to beat the Cowboys. I definitely think it's possible because it's only one underdog that needs to win on top of the 2 favorites. It just all 3 of those things happen at the same time. Like I can see a scenario where the Raiders win, upset, but then maybe the Bears lost to the Lions in the first game. I can see that. The one I'm most confident about is the Bills, even though they've been struggling. I do think their defense should take care of business, and the offense should do enough. But for all 3, that's a tough one because, again, I got 2 out of 3. I think for all 3 to happen, I think it's we're gonna go. I'm about to go piping. We're gonna go hot. I think it's possible because I'm confident with the Bills. I picked the Bears, not super confident. I could see the Raiders winning. The Cowboys are pretty beat up right now. They're pretty beat up. Obviously, they're missing Amari Cooper. Tyrone Smith could be out again. Still without DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he's nearing the comeback, and Will CeeDee Lamb's questionable. So I guess we'll see here. I'm going to call that hot, though. All 3 to happen. I'm sure we'll have an upset or 2 in there as well. It's been a weird season. Brady, the Titans don't score a touchdown against the number 1 defense in the league. I'd agree that the Patriots are the best defense in football right now. Titans don't score a touchdown. I could see that. I feel like they're going to score. My prediction will be they'll score. Titans struggle with the Texans, though. They moved the ball into the red zone, Texans territory, somewhat easily. A lot more than they scored, but then they kind of got stopped. Patriots deep by the Texans. Patriots do a lot better, possibly the best in football, create turnovers. I think this is possible. It's no touchdowns, though. Titans are really beat up. Tannehill's struggling without his running back, without his guys. Julio Jones been out. A.J. Brown went down twice in that game. Man, this is a tough one because I kind of can see it, but are we really going to sit here and say the Titans aren't going to score a single touchdown? I'm actually going to call it warm. I have the Titans scoring 17, losing by 3 in this game, but I think it's possible. I think the Patriots' defense is that good. The Titans will get points. He's definitely not saying they're not going to get points. Not going to pitch another shutout, last week against the Falcons, now against the Titans, but I can honestly see it, but I'm not counting on it happening here. That one Hokie. Jonathan Taylor has another 150-plus scrimmage yard game against the Bucs. I think this is another solid Indy win, too. Mainly focusing on the Jonathan Taylor has another 150-plus yards game here. This is a good one because he's been going off. I would like for them, actually, to get him going in the passing game. Just get him the ball outside. Get him away from that stout Buccaneers number 1 stopping the run defense in there with Vita Vea, Dominican Sue, and company, the inside linebackers. If you get Jonathan Taylor outside, whether it's a pass or not, maybe a pitch, I think that's actually a decent idea, and that could rack up the scrimmage yards, obviously. This is a good one because it's not rushing yards, it's scrimmage yards. The Buccaneers are going to be – I think they're going to be scoring in this game. I think Brady's going to have success against this Colts defense is good. I think they're going to have success, though. It's a good matchup for them. So the Colts are going to have – it depends really who scores first, honestly, in this game. But the Colts are going to have to – they're going to have to throw the ball. So that might take away carries from Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to say hot. Can't go piping because he's been going crazy lately. But I can't wait for that matchup. Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offensive line versus the Buccaneers run-stopping abilities there. That D-line, those linebackers. So – really excited about that one. Ocho, Broncos run all over the Chargers, make Herbert struggle passing. Denver wins by double digits. Interesting because I did go with the upset. I picked the Broncos. I'm well aware it's an upset, but I was feeling them, at home. They've been running the ball better. They got some running backs that are tough to bring down. The Chargers, they have been stopping the run a little better. I'm still not buying it, though. They struggle to stop the run at the end of the day. And that will force... I think they'll be effective, the Broncos. It'll also force the clock to drain. It'll force the Chargers, Herbert, to sit on the sideline and watch more, lose the time possession game. And then that kind of gives them limited chances in those types of games this year. The Chargers offense, Herbert struggled a little bit, not bad games, but struggled a little bit. And the Broncos defense is a similar matchup to, how the Ravens and the Patriots kind of matched up schematically with the Chargers. So I could see all this happening. I'm predicting it'll be way closer in double digits, though. I could see a scenario where the Chargers dominate the Broncos. Herbert has a day. Maybe Herbert gets loose and runs like he did last week. Just make some tight window throws because the coverage is going to be tight. We know that, So I could argue any scenario. I honestly, I think this is realistic. I'm not predicting it to happen. I'm predicting kind of close. I picked the Broncos to win. I guess define run all over. I don't think they're going to go, yeah. I mean, they might run all over them. I don't think Herbert, I guess define struggling too. I don't know if he really, gets dominated, anything like that. I think it's more of they make him sit in the sideline, don't give him limited chances. I think it's more of that. But it does kind of remind me of them playing the Broncos, how they match up against the Cowboys. It kind of reminds me of that, and they double-digit won that game, obviously. So I think it's realistic. I'm predicting the Broncos to win. I'm predicting to have success running the ball. I'm predicting them to make Herbert stay on the sideline. I know that's all bold, so I'm not predicting quite this, but we're almost there. So you can see why I think it's kind of realistic here. Next up, Jay Cincy. Joe Mixon has another 2-touchdown game. So I was all over the Joe Mixon game last week. I had a feeling he was going to have a good game. He had a monster game. The Bengals didn't really pass much at all. Burrow was getting hit a bit. Started the game with a turnover, but they didn't really need to pass. After that point, I feel like they could have maybe, but they didn't really need to. They got a passing touchdown late, obviously. They didn't really need to because Joe Mixon was going off. He's going bonkers in that game. And I think it's possible again here. I think the Steelers, what do you focus on? You focus on that pass game, the run game. It looked like Eckler was having a day against the Steelers. The inside linebackers of the Steelers are struggling. I think Mixon can have a good day. 2 touchdowns. It's tough because I think the Bengals are probably going to score around 3 touchdowns. Is Mixon going to have 2 of them? That's tough. I'm going to say I almost went with what's happening. I was almost really I'm going to predict it to happen, but I'm going to say it's, usually when I go it's happening, I'm like, oh, it's happening, So I'm going to say realistic. I think Joe Mixon plays well again. That's the beauty of the Bengals. I keep talking about it. They make a game plan for that pass game and run game. They kind of spread it out. Like we got to worry about both things, and that kind of they complement each other. It kind of opens up, both. And last week, focusing more on the run, looking like more of just a run team, Maybe they're in the Steelers' head there. So I'm looking forward to see what the Bengals' game plan is, see what works, if both works. If they can get the 2-0 on the Steelers, that'll be massive there. It's a huge game for both teams. It's a huge game for every team in the NFL this week. But, I mean, that's a big one right there. So looking forward to that. That is it for this one. We got the Thanksgiving games tomorrow. I got a mock draft coming, too, at some point tomorrow. But yeah, follow us on Twitter. We'll be talking live during those games, live updates, constantly covering the NFL. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. We have full NFL coverage. Check out those recent videos. That is going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.